In this video, I've got 3 trade-ups in CS2 for you, and each one is interesting in its own way. We'll start with the cheapest option that absolutely any player can afford, then take a look at a mid-budget setup with good odds and minimal risk, and finish with an expensive high-roll contract that, if successful, can drop some truly insane skins. I'll break down the entry cost, success rate, profitability, and the best possible outcomes so you'll know exactly which trade-up is really worth your attention. Sit back and get comfortable. This is going to be interesting. Let's start with the cheapest trade-up. The entry cost here is only $4. For this setup, we're using 6 SSG08 Azure Glyph with a float of 0.12 or lower, and 4 XM1014 Gumwall Camo with a float of 0.05 or lower. This is the most accessible contract that you can run every single day. The success chance is nearly 73%, and the profitability is a solid 118%. That means the risk is minimal, and if you get lucky, you can easily come out ahead. Among the possible outcomes are some really nice skins: AWP Atheros, Tech 9 Mummy's Rot, and Desert Eagle Night Heist. All of them are worth more than the entry cost and look great in-game. Of course, there are some less profitable options as well, but for this price, this trade-up is definitely worth it, especially for beginners. And if you want to discover fresh, profitable trade-ups like this every single day, check out Trade Up Lab. They're constantly updating with new setups for all budgets, and right now their Discord is running a $100 Traded Balance giveaway. Don't miss your chance to join. Link is in the description. Now let's move on to the second trade-up, which will be our mid-budget option. This setup consists of 4 SG553 Basket Halftone with a float of 0.05 or lower, and 6 USPS Desert Tactical with a float of 0.12 or lower. The total entry cost is just $4.12, while the expected return is almost $5. The success chance for this contract is 77%, and the profitability is over 120%. The key here is to collect items with floats in the range of 0.05 to 0.12 so that the resulting skins come out in factory new or at least minimal wear. The possible outcomes include some really top-tier skins: AWP Black Nile, AK-47 Steel Delta, and Tech 9 Mummy's Rot. All of them are worth more than the entry cost and look great in-game. Of course, there are some less profitable options as well, but for this price, this trade-up is definitely worth it, especially for beginners. And finally, let's take a look at the most expensive setup in today's video. The entry cost here is $28.61, and it's made up of 3 R8 Revolver Crazy 8 with a float of 0.13 and 7 M249 Emerald Poison Dart with a float of 0.12. The success chance is about 70%. This contract can definitely be called a high roll option because while the risk is higher, the reward can also be huge. Among the possible outcomes are some really expensive skins: M4A1S Decimator and AWP Fever Dream. If you hit one of those, the profit will be very nice. Of course, there were less profitable outcomes too, like P250 Visions or Sawed-Off Kiss Love. But that's exactly why people love high-roll trade-ups, the chance to land something truly big. So in the end, we've got a set of 3 trade-ups arranged by price. The first one is cheap and super accessible for beginners. The second is a stable mid-budget setup with good odds and solid outcomes. And the third is an expensive high-roll contract that either hurts your balance a little bit or drops a skin that covers all your costs and brings some serious profit. Each of these trade-ups is good in its own way and will work for different types of players, from those just starting out and testing their luck to those willing to risk it for a big win.